There's a mysterious creature that roams the lakes in British Columbia known as Ogopogo. It likes to create foam like a frothy Labatt's blue. I want to read this Amazon review too before we get started.
We'll go for it. We're rolling.
Are we rolling?
Oh, yeah. I always put in a little roll just so I can check levels.
Okay.
He tricks us.
So, I was looking for a new shaver, right? Like an electric shaver. Of course, I wanted to read through the reviews to make sure it was something decent. And I just happened to stumble upon this 5-star review.
5-star review for a shaver.
Yeah, and right on the thing it said frustration-free packaging. I didn't know if they had to label that, but apparently we've gotten to that point as a society.
It's easy to get to.
But it says, Andrew, I shaved my body with it, okay? He writes, I used this to shave my entire body and ended up with a big ball of hair the size of my fist. I didn't want anybody to know that I had shaved, so in a panic, I flushed the big hairball down the toilet. That was a mistake as I ended up clogging the drain. Needless to say, the entire bathroom floor is flooded with water and the plumber is fixing the toilet. As I write this, 10 out of 10 would buy again. That man is a hero.
So
He's a national fucking treasure.
So you went with that one, I hope?
Yeah, obviously.
That's godlike.
I mean, do you flush your hair down the toilet?
Usually it's just the sink, right? Or if I'm shaving my nuts.
Yeah, thicker hair.
Okay, the hair.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll tell you my secret.
I just wrap it in a paper towel or a toilet paper, and then so it's like a
ball, hair missile down the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise, it floats on the surface.
I just throw mine in the trash.
Me too. I get a garbage bag and I squat over it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. It's kind of gross to look at pubic hair in the garbage can, though, sometimes.
You know what? I was watching Investigation Discovery once, and they were like, you're never more than 3 feet away from a pubic hair at any point in time.
That's a good point.
People shed pubic hairs all the time.
Well, not a less grosser hair, but when I was getting my chest all tattooed, I had to shave it every time I went in. And I have a very hairy chest, so that I had to dispose of all of that hair. I actually think all of that hair equated to like a fist-sized hairball.
Gross.
Never clogged the toilet, though.
Dude, nice.
I remember when I got one of my tattoos on my chest that I went to an actual shop for, and the dude was like shaving me up. He's like, Jesus, we got a fucking gorilla in here. And I'm like, yes, I'm very hairy.
That makes me wonder, why did you have to say to an actual shop? Where else would you be going?
I've gotten some basement tattoos.
Okay.
Come on, everybody's seen a scratch.
Gotten some scratchers.
Yeah. It happens.
I was young, poor, and just wanted skin covered.
And people needed to learn.
Wait, what did you get? Do you remember me when I had that stupid anarchy thing?
Yeah.
That was a basement scratcher, too.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible decision.
No, so my scratchers are like this one, that one, behind my ear.
Wait, someone did that bomb in a basement?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not that bad
It actually
for a
looks
scratcher.
pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Then I got my collarbone and my stomach done in a basement, too.
Your stomach I can see.
Yeah, no, that's
a little
it's
wobbly.
A garbage tattoo.
It's a little wobbly.
So you got a little... Was the guy actually just like an out-of-work tattoo artist, or is he just...
No, it was like a 20-year-old kid who was like, hey, I've got this. And that's one of my friends was like, let's go.
Was it an actual gun, or was it like the...
Yeah, it was an actual machine.
See, the one I got was, I think, a race car, or like a remote control car engine that had a little...
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt a lot worse. So, like, when you're getting ready, they're boiling water in the kitchen to put it in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Lighting the end with a fucking lighter. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
all right, you ready?
Awesome.
Let's go.
I am so lucky I did not get, like, herpes or anything from that.
That's fucking
Are
terrible.
you positive?
Positive.
Sure.
I have been tested.
Oh, good.
Oh.
He's
Listen,
entered into a
man.
new relationship. He's been tested.
A, B,
No,
and C? Or just A and B?
Well, that's hepatitis, and I have none of that.
There's like 500 strains of herpes.
No, herpes is
there's-
type A complex or type B simplex. Hepatitis, there's hepatitis A, B, and C. Like, yeah, no, anytime I get out of a relationship or in the past have had a one-night stand, I go get myself tested because
Very
that's
smart.
the
Very
responsible thing to
responsible.
do as an adult.
Very
Good
smart.
job. Very
Not
good.
me.
No.
Just not
It's
to run.
witchcraft.
I'm out of here.
It's made by the government, and I'm not believing that
That's
any
right.
STDs are real.
They can lance whatever boil I get on my nonsense. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bubble Butt Podcast, the only podcast on the internet that uploads weekly. Who knows what it'll be about? Certainly not me. My name is Adam. Tonight, I'm going to a concert.
Ooh.
I'm going to go
Yes,
see
you are.
Sleep.
Yeah,
Hell
I was,
yeah.
I was wondering, okay, what type of, is it metal?
Yes.
Okay.
Stoner metal.
Yep.
Stoner
Like
metal.
doom metal.
And 3
It's so
stoners
good.
are going there.
Yes. It's going to be rad. I'm designated driving for Chase and Vance. So, of course, my ticket is comped.
Nice.
As I am the taxi company.
They must have openers, right?
Yes, in fact, that's the thing. We got to get there on time for the opener. I forget the name of it, but Vance and Chase are super excited about it. Apparently, it's a little 2-piece number.
So, you said it's First Ave?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Twins are out of town, so parking should be great.
No,
Excellent.
it is insane downtown.
Even with the twins gone?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Pride
there's-
weekend, right?
No, it's not Pride Weekend, but there's like something going on at the convention center and whatnot. Because me and
Oh.
Amy walked over to like Brit's Pub and a couple other places to have some beers today. And
Brit-
It's
No,
a nice
like-
joint, actually.
yeah, no, there was like a huge crowd outside the convention center. Yeah, it's just super busy downtown.
Everything's popping. Well, great.
Brit's
You know,
was fucking insane.
I really
'cause it's
fucking-
Liverpool Tottenham for the EPL championship.
I really love driving in cities.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I love driving everywhere else except for cities. And when they're trafficked and there's people going crazy and they're stupid, oh, it makes me furious.
Listen, man, you can park by Amy's place.
Yeah, just park by the girl you've never met before and
All
just go
No,
knock on her door.
It's only... I mean, it'll take you like 15 minutes to walk to First Ave.
You know what? That's my one thing. Like, I love going downtown to, like, restaurants and stuff, but it's like,
Parking.
I know, yeah, it's like, I know it's going to be a nightmare just to find a fucking parking spot, which I understand. There's buildings everywhere, but it's just like, I hate it. I wish there was just parking lots available.
I know.
Everywhere you go.
Honestly, every street that they build should have a fucking allotment for, like, parking.
Yeah.
Well, First Ave's in downtown, technically, right?
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure there's like a 9 million parking ramps there, if I
Right.
remember right.
There are, but it's going to be expensive as fuck for some
I'm
reason.
not paying for it.
Yeah, true.
What do you mean, $15 probably?
Yeah. I think
That's
we
pretty
paid,
average.
We paid fucking 20 to park to go to Fogo. That was a fucking nightmare.
Jesus.
That was a nightmare.
Dude, when I went to the Timberwolves game this winter, I think I paid like $6 and we were only 2 blocks away.
Sure.
That's not
But
bad.
the hottest ticket in town, the Minnesota Twins, now, apparently.
I watched them today.
I can't believe that they're, like, selling out now.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I wanted to get tickets for...
Of course you did, because they're doing well, you prick.
I watched them when they were bad.
So
I watched
did
them
I.
last...
Yeah.
The baseball, I know it's not the most exciting sport, but like it's the perfect thing to have on the background when you're doing other stuff. It's just
Yeah.
nice and relaxing.
It's great. You can do anything. You can zone out.
Well, it's not relaxing anymore because the Twins are actually like bringing you into the game. Like, oh, shit. When's Kepler going to hit a Yabo?
It's like they got rid of all their like mega stars, and now all of a sudden they're just like good. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
Well, no, it's because they got like the young manager who's bringing in the new
Say
school
his name.
mentality.
Say his
Rocco Baldelli.
And the good team dynamic.
Is he German?
Rocco Bye Belly.
I'm
That-
joking.
that's
I'm
very Italian.
was gonna
Very,
say,
very
you can't-
Italian.
When you have an Italian first and last name, yeah, you ain't hiding that.
No, you're not hiding that. You spaghetti eater. Either way, I'm Adam. Across from me is Jordan. How are you, Jordan?
I am doing fantastic.
How was your week?
It was great.
Did you kill?
I killed.
Good job. Cody, how are you?
I'm great.
Excellent.
Yeah, you probably know how my week was because vacation's awesome, but you always pay for it tenfold. It's kind of like witchcraft when you go back. So it was a busy week this week,
And a disgusting week.
but I think Brad is one step closer to killing the general manager, so we're getting there.
Excellent.
He's gonna snap one day.
Excellent.
Because it was getting towards the end of the shift, and of course someone had to come on and be like, you know what, I just got an email about you guys, and we're like, we're doing everything we can. Fuck you, get out of here. I thought Brad was gonna kill him. I thought he was, but cooler heads prevailed, and I don't know what he's doing. Muscle stuff.
Hopefully muscle stuff and not murder.
No, he's planning a murder.
Probably.
Hopefully it's me.
Either
Cody,
way.
stop sounding like me.
This could be your last episode, Cody, so
right.
let's let you get right into it, shall we?
All right, so we're gonna get cool. We're gonna get funky again with some lake monsters.
Oh, some more Zyptocruology?
Hell yeah! I was just gonna say this. Like Jordan, my favorite episode you've ever done. I don't know how the audience feels. Was Peppy. So I was like, we got to get back there and research some of these lake monsters. And this is especially special because we're dedicating this to, I think, one of our first fans that ever reached out to us, Jenna.
Yep.
From Canada, because I remember a long, long time ago, she told me about Ogopogo, who we're
That's
talking
right.
Right. And then I was messaging her a few weeks ago, and she see if she had any inside information, and she told me about, she used to visit there when she was younger, and she had a little t-shirt, Ogopogo t-shirt,
Yeah.
that she would wear all the time. It was her favorite shirt.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
So this is right up her alley.
Yeah.
This
Hopefully
is a
she'll
show
like
for
it.
one. I
Yeah.
think she will, my friend.
It'd be cool if she had Ogopogo on her ranch with her horses and she'd ride it around.
I mean, maybe she'll mail us those horses that we requested, like a month,
I
few
feel
months
like
ago?
I feel like Adam is the one who could definitely be a rancher in the future.
It could happen.
You seem
Yeah.
to like horses a lot.
I've never interacted with one, but I fucking hope to one day.
I can arrange it for you.
Can you? A nice one?
My uncle has a ranch with horses.
All right. I want to meet a horse.
They're fun. They're nice.
Sure.
Just give them an apple. They're fine. All right. After the retreat of the last ice age, which spread all the way down the United States and Canada, it would cause the creation of thousands of lakes or other bodies of water. Could it be possible an ancient creature could have been frozen in the ice, then when it melted would begin to inhabit these lakes, such as Champy of Lake Champlain or our boy Peppy of Lake Pepin?
Woo, woo, woo.
Ooh.
Peppy's-
I mean, diseases get trapped in ice, so why wouldn't a monster?
I should say this real quick. I remember I was watching this thing about Nessie, and I was telling you guys how it was like a real big theory because how the Loch Ness has like these two lines of quartz in the water. They theorized that maybe Nessie was a time traveler. She goes in there and she's time traveled from ancient times to modern times.
Using the quartz as like
Just like Superman.
Okay.
It makes sense to me.
I'm into it.
Ogopogo is not like that, but
Okay.
Lake Okanagan in British Columbia has its own mysterious creature that has roamed the water for centuries. The creature is comparatively more similar to Peppy than it is Nessie or Champy. It has an elongated snake-like body. Its shape and length vary depending on the witnesses, and its head appears to share the body-to-head ratio similar to Peyton Manning or Ted Danson. They're the two biggest head boys I can think of.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
You could put a billboard on both of them.
Should we ask them if we can get sponsorship on one of their foreheads?
Yes? Oh my god.
I will pay for them to get a bumblebutt tattoo on their forehead.
But still, every Great Lake monster needs a badass name, and this one is Ogopogo. A little bit about Lake Okanagan. It is situated between the Rocky Mountains to the east and the Cascade Mountain Range to the west. The lake is 69 miles long and can vary in width between 3/4 of a mile to 2.5 miles long and covers an area of about 127 square miles. The lake itself is somewhat shaped like a serpent, oddly enough.
Listen, at that size, I'm going to say that's just a small ocean.
That's a big fucking
It's a
lake.
I know Lake Pepin's kind of like weird like that too, but yeah, when you're looking on the map, it's like literally like wavy, like that's kind of cool.
Sure.
About a third of the way up the lake, around a bend, there is an island that is where many believe Ogopogo actually lives. It is now referred to as Rattlesnake Island, and within a cave underneath the island that Ogopogo resides, and because of this, it is sometimes referred to as Monster Island.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
In the early 1970s, Eddie Haymore developed the island as a tourist attraction, which included a mini golf course with a replica of the Great Pyramid of Giza and a giant camel.
All
Hell
right.
yeah, dude.
That's on brand for Ogopogo.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he doesn't like that very much.
And monsters. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
The provincial government blocked the project shortly after it opened. In 1986, the BC Supreme Court ordered the province of British Columbia to pay Eddie Haymore $250,000 in damages for their, quote, highly improper actions.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to learn, obviously, Ogopogo is a Native American legend, so maybe they want the island to remain preserved, and not just a fucking tourist thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed, which
It
is
makes
the
sense
right
that
thing to do.
It makes sense they had to pay him, though.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
like, he just trying to
I
run
can't,
a business.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine a giant camel's that cheap.
No, or a pyramid replica.
Those are going to cost hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, man.
Now, Rattlesnake Island was held in high regard to Native Americans, more specifically the Shuswap tribe who lived around this area for centuries. They believed these waters held a mysterious monster or spirit of the lake they called the Naitaka.
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 All right, cool.
It's kind of weird. And if they wanted to, in fact, cross the lake or travel on it, they would need to make a ritualistic offering. This meant whenever they would venture out onto the lake, they would need to bring a chicken or a puppy to drop into the waters to appease the creature. So Ogopogo
Just bring
would-
chickens. Leave the puppies alone.
I mean, it had to be like a wolf cub, right? Would you think? Or do they just have dogs?
Yeah, they
everywhere?
have dogs. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Ogopogo would leave them alone, obviously. But like most humans, there's always that one guy who doesn't listen to the rules.
I don't have to pay tribute.
Some badass.
That's right.
A visiting chief named Tim Basket had been thoroughly warned he needs to make a ritual offering for safe travels. But of course, he did not listen. While Tim Basket and his family were traveling near the island on their canoe, there was a sudden upheaval of water, and the canoe was swallowed into the dark waters with only a swirling foam left in his wake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Bitch-ass Tim
he
Basket.
brought that shit on himself.
Put the fucking puppy in the water. Let the big water snake eat it.
And some people never learn.
It's simple.
The local tribe would leave crude drawings on stone of what they believed Ogopogo looked like. Most pictures were fairly similar that depicted a long neck with flippers and even 2 ears on the crown of its head. Even when the first white settlers reached the area of Okanagan Valley, they still believed in the creature. They often would speak of what they called Serapos, or water demon. So many claimed they would see on the beaches of Monster Island the bloody remains of Ogopogo's last meal.
Oh, he'd let it wash up for...
He's got his Big Mac and ribs laying on the beach over there.
Right? The wrappers.
Just piles of puppies on the beach there.
Piles of puppy
Just
bones.
huge puppies everywhere.
Oh no, that one was a beagle.
In 1854, there goes a story of a half-breed.
Oh.
Their words. We talked about this on your
Yes, we
episode.
did.
We have.
The book was written in 1960-something.
Yeah,
so.
they loved half-breeds back then. They loved saying it.
Anyway, he was guiding a team of horses across the lake, swimming, as they called it. He then claimed that some strong force had grabbed onto the horses and began to pull them down into the depths, and the man was forced to cut the rope. Otherwise, he would have perhaps became a meal for Ogopogo.
He lost the whole team.
Yeah, his 3 horses.
That's not good back in these days. Like, your horses were your money.
That's fucked up.
I have a feeling Jenna would have killed Ogopogo if he tried to take her horses.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And 3 at once he got? So, like, what? Did he, like, make a big wake and then they just, like,
Just
went
bit
down?
him and pull. I don't know how he does it,
God
but he did him.
damn.
I'm sure he was full.
Ogopogo got 3 hots and a cot.
Here's what I was wondering. Like, if you're dragging horses behind a canoe, do they just like swim?
Yeah, right? They like
Can
look
they
like
just
little,
swim?
little trot boys. I think so.
I don't know. I've never seen a horse swim, but I'll take it.
I feel like horses aren't the most buoyant creatures on the planet.
They put little flippers on their hooves, and then they're fine.
Oh,
gotta-
yeah, true.
Little floaties
Little
on their...
floaties on their legs.
You got to ford the river sometimes, boys.
I know. Well, this man...
I've died in Oregon Trail doing that.
The Snake River.
Did you not make a ritualistic sacrifice when you crossed the river?
I didn't.
I wish they gave me that option.
You have to just throw one of your kids in there.
I would
fine.
gladly kill a Cody.
Now, with all of the settlers inhabiting the area, they continued to follow the natives' guidelines for appeasing the creature. Many make sure to bring an offering of a small animal whenever they wanted to dredge the waters of Lake Okanagan. Among these first settlers was a family known as the Allisons. Miss Allison was in the area doing an intensive study of Indian folklore and was submitting several articles to London journals. Many would claim that Miss Allison was not one to be superstitious even after studying many of the native legends, but her mind would soon be changed.
Oh, so there's history of her being objective and skeptical to all of it, which makes her a good candidate to go report on all of it for the London Journal.
Right.
But now, Ogopogo is going to change her fucking life.
He's going to get her bitch ass.
Let's go.
You think they were talking about Wendigos and shit? You think she was reading about all that?
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
It's right around that time, right?
Yeah.
I feel those are a little scarier than Ogopogo.
But they got kissable lips.
That's true.
I don't like being trapped in a water with big water things.
I think
That's one of my
think
fears.
every human doesn't like being in water deep enough where you can't like touch the ground.
Yes.
Some can just swallow your
love
ass
it.
up.
And then there's like better water monsters below you that are more adept.
One evening, her husband was traveling across the lake to get supplies from the Okanagan mission. Then, the storm clouds started swirling and was about to make his return across the lake even more difficult. Because his wife was worried about his safety, she went to the cliffs that overlooked the lake to see if she could spot him. Then, she took notice of the rain and wind disturbing the lake and spotted a mysterious-looking log of great size. She continued to watch it and noticed it moving against the waves in an undulating motion, leaving behind a very distinct wake in the already rough waters. Then all of a sudden, just vanished. Later, when her husband made his way back to the cabin, she informed him of what she had witnessed. Of course, he just laughed and made light of it, but even his mind would be changed soon.
What?
On another occasion, one of their friends named John McDougal was towing a team of horses across the lake on his boat.
Oh.
Now, John had always brought his offering for Ogopogo, but seemed to have forgotten this one time. When his horse caboose reached around the middle of the lake, something grabbed his horses and pulled them under the water. John claims his boat began to go under with them, and if he had not cut the rope, he would have surely been pulled under with his poor horses.
Ogopogo caught old boy slipping.
It's like
Another team.
you feed him all the time. You forget one time, he don't give a fuck. He's gonna get
Unforgiving.
He's got to eat too.
Of course he's got to eat. He's got to get his macros, you know what I mean?
Right, he needs his protein shot.
Yes. He needs his 3 horses if he can't have his 1 chicken.
That is a weird comparison in meat size of what he's consuming.
But I don't get it. Maybe because it was offered to him, it fills him better. Maybe it's
That
some
could
kind
be.
of magic.
That
I don't
could
know.
be. I who knows? Now, we are probably all wondering how exactly does this monster get such an obscure name like Ogopogo? Back in 1924, the following music hall hit from London was being sung one night in Vernon. It goes as follows.
His mother was an earwig, his father was a whale, a little bit of a head and hardly any tail, and Ogopogo was his name.
Excellent.
Can you imagine a whale having sex with an earwig?
No, I certainly
It's
can't.
like the smallest creature with the largest creature.
Yeah,
I feel like that doesn't work.
I feel like it's got to be a male earwig.
Yes.
The male earwig
Yes.
is impregnating a whale. All right.
Well, I mean, you flip it around, that's not going to work.
It just
the
doesn't.
earwig is just going to get split into a million pieces.
Maybe the earwig has a big dick. You
Or
don't
gets
know.
sucked into the urethra of the whale.
Ah.
Yeah.
By the
That
way,
would be a problem.
earwigs are fucking disgusting, man.
Are they?
I know.
Yeah. They're gross. We used to have an infestation of them outside of this house, and they're fucking nasty looking.
Ew.
Vernon, being a city located near the Lake Okanagan, as weird as it may sound, the words in the song actually do somewhat describe what the lake monster is supposed to look like. By all accounts, Vernon is assumed by most to have been responsible for naming Ogopogo, but the city of Kelowna believes they should get credit for it. In fact, they believe it so much, they immortalize Ogopogo with a lovely statue.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was said to be the first for a creature that has never actually been proven to exist. It is basically a more cartoonish statue depicting the humps and the head of Ogopogo.
Okay.
It almost looks like a playground-esque thing. It's just kind of like the little humps and fake water going around. It's kind of neat, though.
So
I totally see it.
It's like it coming out of the water a little bit.
It's just the humps. All you see is the hump and then his cute little head.
Gotcha.
It looks like it's for little kids, but it's totally rad. The sightings of Ogopogo would continue throughout the beginning of the 1900s. Most came to agree that the creature could be described as having a goat-like head, a very long neck, the ability to change the shape of its back, and some claim he is even covered in scales.
Interesting.
This reminds me of that Dark Souls dragon? Or not dragon, but like, he's got like the long ears and stuff, and he's like coming up out of the hole.
Oh, the gaping dragon?
Yeah. No, not gaping dragon. He's like a nice guy. You talk to him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does kind of.
That's what I think of when I think of
I think that, I can't remember what that thing is.
Yeah, but he's right next to the blacksmith, right?
Yeah. He's like a god or something.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. That's what I think of this guy.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I could see it.
Find a picture of that and put it on the Instagram so we don't look fucking crazy.
One young girl from this time period claimed to have stumbled upon Ogopogo laying on the beach, and when he spotted her, quickly jumped into the lake. She described Ogopogo as a big, snake-like creature. Another witness around this time claimed to have witnessed what he said was
an apparent prehistoric monster, at least 20 feet long, a heavy snake-like body, a horse's head, and well-bearded.
The beard is a reoccurring theme with Ogopogo. It seems to kind of be unique to him within the overall lake monster lore.
That's rad.
All right.
So, does that creature on Dark Souls have a beard? I don't know. I don't remember if it has a beard or not.
Me neither. I just remember his big ears, and he's just like happy to see you all the time.
What if Ogopogo wrote that review on Amazon? By shaving his whole body, huh?
Well, yeah, he's heavily bearded on his horse face, so I can't imagine.
I just kept thinking of like a hipster lake monster when I keep seeing that.
Yeah.
He's got a nice waxed beard.
Yeah. And it's always like dripping water majestically.
He's like the Jason Momoa of fucking lake creatures.
Hey, that's great.
Yes.
That's a good comparison.
Well, if that's the case, I'd fuck Ogopogo.
Yeah.
Now, in 1914, something very peculiar was found washed up on the shores of Lake Okanagan. It was about 5 to 6 feet long, weighed roughly 400 pounds with a round head. It had bluey-gray eyes, flippers, and a broad tail.
What are you talking about?
This creature was completely beyond anything that had ever been known to roam the waters of Lake Okanagan. The locals would take to studying known sea creatures and found it appeared to possibly be a sea cow or manatee. But how the hell did the creature get into this semi-remote Canadian lake?
Bunch of crazy drunk guys on a bachelor party.
They just stole the manatee.
Yeah. We're like, this lake needs a fucking manatee now.
I mean, I guess they're all hopped up on Labatt's Blue. And just
Goddamn right.
And Molson's.
Some believe this could have actually been a baby Ogopogo because its features share similarities to eyewitness reports. The Loch Ness Monster was starting to be published in the press around 1926, and a man named Ian Hassel made sure Ogopogo got his dues as well.
Goddamn right.
He reported on the stories he had heard from the local miners near Lake Okanagan. They told him the creature was
about 60 feet long and swam with great speed, and that its goat-like head with 2 horns at the sides towered about 5 to 8 feet above the water on a slim neck.
Those are big fucking horns.
Right?
That's a demon.
A bearded demon, hell yeah.
Fuck.
It's Baphomet.
Oh.
Swim in Baphomet. There you go. The miners also described how if you see a log-looking object in the water swimming against the current, it is most likely Ogopogo.
Makes sense.
And you can always trust a miner.
Always, man.
I always do.
What do they have to lose in telling you something?
Yeah, what are they going to get punished? Oh, go chip some more rocks. Like, they're already doing it.
The Morning Post in 1934 published their own articles. Captain House of the Canadian Fishery Patrol. I love that, man.
Put that walleye back there.
Described Ogopogo as looking like a telephone pole with a sheep's head.
Jesus.
I love that description there. Within that same article, an American visitor described him as
a mighty sea serpent with the face of a sheep and the head of a bulldog. He struck me dumb with horror.
That is an ugly fucking face.
Ugh.
Yeah.
On July 2nd, 1949, Ogopogo was seen by a Mr. Cray.
Mr. Cray Cray.
And with him was the Watson family. Do you think this is Deshaun's family?
Oh, it might be.
Oh, yeah.
They were cruising just off the coast from the city of Kelowna and noticed a dark shape drifting north. This is what Mr. Cray said about it.
What the party saw was a long, sinuous body, 30 feet in length, consisting of about 5 undulations, apparently separated from each other by about a 2-foot space, in which that part of the undulations would have been underwater. The length of each of the undulations that could be seen would have been about 5 feet. There appeared to be a forked tail of which only one half came above the water. From time to time, the whole thing was submerged, and then it came back up again.
So, this is one of the few stories from witnesses where they describe seeing Ogopogo's tail. Perhaps because it is forked with 2 flippers on each end of it, it allows it to swim faster and more agile, similar to like a dolphin or a shark.
Yeah.
Either way, Mr. Cray believed that Ogopogo was chasing after a school of fish and was leaving a huge wake in its place. I mean,
Okay.
Do you think a school of fish is enough to feed him?
I mean,
I
who
guess,
knows? He
I
eats a
guess.
puppy, he eats a chicken, he eats
just
3 horses.
eats
Who the fuck
anything.
knows, man?
Yeah.
We don't have any stories of him eating human. Well, I guess he ate Tim Basket.
He ate Mr. Basket,
Yep.
boat and all. Actually, we don't know that. He could have eaten the boat and like spit him into a
Spit
cave.
Tim Basket out, yeah.
He doesn't get the honor of getting eaten because he forgot his
He just gets
sacrifice.
drowned. One Sunday in July of 1952, a Mrs. E.A. Campbell was entertaining her sister-in-law and a Scottish visitor on her lawn near Kelowna. Miss Campbell then describes what she spotted as follows. I am a stranger here. I do not even know such things existed. But I saw it so plainly. A head like a cow or a horse that reared right out of the water. It was a wonderful sight. The coils glistened like 2 huge wheels. They were ragged edges like I saw along its back. It was so beautiful, with the sun shining on it. It was all so clear, so extraordinary. It came up 3 times, then submerged and disappeared. Thank you, Miss Campbell.
Yeah, Miss. Yeah. I'm sorry whatever happened to your throat. But
I'm sorry you sound like a teenage boy going through puberty.
I hope you
She's
recover.
a very soft-spoken woman.
Okay.
I'll say her story, like these stories that we're telling from these people are literally verbatim from their news reports.
Wow.
So she's the one that has more of like a appreciation for his form, I feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's a furry for it. She wants
Hell
it.
yeah.
She's a Ogopogo-kin.
She wants the yiff with that thing.
On July 20th, 1959, an article was published in the Vernon Advertiser from a Mr. R.H. Millar. He relays his excitement for seeing, quote, this fabulous serpent.
Returning from a cruise down Okanagan Lake, traveling at 10 miles an hour, I noticed about 250 feet in our wake what appeared to be the serpent. On picking up my field glasses, my thoughts were verified. It was Ogopogo, and it was traveling a great deal faster than we were. I would judge around 15 to 17 miles an hour.
That's kind of hauling ass in the water.
Right?
He's a fast boy.
The head was about 9 inches above the water. The head is definitely snake-like with a blunt nose. Our excitement was short-lived. We watched for about 3 minutes as Ogie did not appear to like the boat coming on him broadside, very gracefully reduced the 5 humps which were so plainly visible, lowered his head, and gradually submerged. At no time was the tail visible. The family's version of the color is very dark greenish. This sea serpent glides gracefully in a smooth motion. This would lead one to believe that in between the humps, it is possible to have some type of fin which it works together or possibly individually to control direction.
Damn. This thing's got flutters and shutters. And
Is there a creature that has like that many fins on it?
I don't think so.
It's
Or with
fucker-
like a split tail that's just hauls ass. I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird.
There's probably something in like the unexplored part of the ocean.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of weird shit down there.
God. A lot of fucked up things.
Mr. Millar's theory that Ogopogo having additional fins along his body is an interesting thought and could potentially help explain why the creature can seemingly swim so gracefully. On September 3rd, 1964, a 15-year-old boy named Kenny Unser was simply playing fetch with his dog near Kelowna's wharf. Kenny had thrown the stick into the water when he noticed an odd-looking wave.
Idiot. Ogopogo loves to eat dogs.
Then about 75 yards out, he noticed 3 foot of dark greenish tail rise out of the water.
Oh no.
Kenny said, "It was about a foot thick with big scales and rounded off at the end like a dog's chopped off tail." Ogopogo's tail then came slamming down, causing a huge splash. Kenny was terrified and fled the scene with his beloved canine.
Good. He
Let's
got
go,
him out
Cujo.
of there. He got him out of He got Cujo out of there.
Perhaps Ogopogo thought he could have made a nice snack out of the boy's dog, or maybe he was just annoyed with the dog's presence. A few years later, another report was published in the local news from the German vice chancellor from Vancouver named Hans, do you think it's Gerard?
Garade. Garade.
Hans Garade recounted his experience. Hans said,
I saw a spoil of waves with white foam in the middle of the lake. Very strange to see. It looked like the wash of a boat moving swiftly from north to south, but there was no boat.
"Why are they letting German vice chancellors go to Vancouver?
I
Come on."
don't know, man. Why do they have interest there at all?
I don't know. The article also included a story from a man named Philip Daum from Bacon Beach. Philip claimed he saw
A creature about 25 feet long with humps, which rose up and down in a mass of white foam. I never did believe in Ogopogo, but after this, I certainly do.
God damn.
So do you
Hang
think-
loose, Bacon Beach, brother.
So do you think Bacon Beach? What if Bacon Beach was just? It didn't have sand. It was just bacon bits.
Ugh. Oh, God.
And in like the hot sun, it gets all greasy.
Oh, sounds like I'm going to have a bunch of pimples afterwards.
Sounds like I'm just living my dream.
Yeah.
The next section will be from witnesses' claims taken from www.ogopogoquest.com. Very good site if you want to. There's like hundreds of things on there with pictures.
Is there any interactive games or anything? It seems like there
I don't
should
think
be.
so. I don't think so. So what I think I'm going to do is when I edit this, I'm going to put timestamps with when we talk about the story with the picture that you guys can see. So then when you're listening to this, you can then look on the picture. That's
An
what I'm
interactive podcast adventure.
Everybody's
Heck
got to have
yes.
their own opinion on what these pictures are.
I love it.
In 1981, a photo was taken by the Watchland family that shows what looks like a serpent-shaped object creating a wake and white foam surrounding it. They said it was right around regatta time. Do you know what the hell is that?
I have no idea.
A regatta is a
It's
yacht
cheese,
race.
right?
Oh.
Oh,
No, that's ricotta.
July 24th, 1981, around 1 p.m. We were in a rented ski boat and were running on the west side of the lake in the vicinity of Peachland, just a bit northwest of the tip of Rattlesnake Island. A water skier had just passed us going fast in the opposite direction of us when suddenly a creature surfaced directly in front of us facing a northeasterly direction. We saw no head, just a body, my thoughts being that the head might have been laying flat just below the surface. At first, I thought it was a wake of the other boat, but then realized that the boat's wake was going the other direction. As we came closer, the creature broke into a fast-paced, undulating motion.
Shit.
I pointed our boat directly at it, but as we neared it, the creature dove, causing a large, frothy whirlpool. I turned the boat around and could see the creature 2 or 3 feet below the water. It moved at great speed at least halfway across the lake before it dove deeper and out of sight. The creature was at least 50 feet long and seemed to either be very dark green or black. Now, in the photo, guys, that's his picture of what he thinks Ogopogo. I mean, you can kind of see there's no wakes except for whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very out of place.
I'm looking at it.
It's the thing with lake creatures. The photos are so grainy all the time.
You know what this thing kind of looks like, honestly?
What?
It looks like one of those goddamn, like, barriers that they put up that say, like, don't swim past here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In the middle of the lake, though?
I don't know. It just looks like a blurry white piece of shit, if I'm being honest with you.
The one thing about this guy, I don't remember if you brought this up on Peppy, but, like, did he have, like, the white foam?
No.
I don't know why Ogopogo has white foam everywhere. I don't know if it's like he's spitting shit, or I don't know.
No,
what the hell
Ogopogo probably just thrashes about violently.
Because he's got 5 different, like, points of articulation.
Yeah,
is what
okay.
they're saying. So, like, when he moves, it's just like...
That's
causing
a good
the
point.
froth.
That's a good point. All right. The following story comes from a man named John P. He actually witnessed the following events in 1986, but didn't submit his story until 2008 to ogopogoquest.com. It goes as follows.
I have not reported this story publicly before now, as it is just too unbelievable. This sighting occurred in late July of 1986. I was paddling a canoe near Ellison Provincial Park, and my 2 girls were trolling for fish. They were about 8 and 10 years old at the time. Since it was dusk and the stars were beginning to be visible, we began to head towards Dog Beach at Ellison to head back to camp. It was a warm night, the lake was smooth as glass, and it was a very quiet evening with no motorboaters. No motorboaters.
That's such a Canadian fucking thing to say.
No motorboaters. They say snow machine, too. They're fucking weirdos, man.
Wait, what is a snow machine? Like a snowblower?
No. What are those? Like
snowmobile?
Yeah, snowmobile.
A snow machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Canadians.
Okay, motorboaters. we were about 100 meters out from the beach when we noticed a rounded object in the water. The object was not moving. Thinking it was something like a play toy or an inner tube, I decided to paddle over and investigate. As we approached, the first thing I noticed was a strong, fishy smell. When the canoe was within a meter or so of the object, we noticed it was about 1 foot wide by 4 feet long and had 2 rows of arrowhead-shaped scales running its length. It was dark green in color. We sat there a few seconds, and I asked the kids to reel in their lines. Then we heard a kind of moaning or low growling noise. We realized that about 5 to 10 meters further ahead there was a large head facing away from us, silhouetted against the dusk sky. The head appeared to be about the size of a horse head, and it appeared to have horizontal conical-shaped structures like horns. My kids turned to ask what this was, and I said, "The Ogopogo." At this juncture, realizing what I had just said, my hair stood straight up, and my older daughter freaked out and demanded we head to shore. The creature appeared to notice we were there and slowly moved away. It did not move with any undulations, but moved slowly with the head and hump in the same position. Its movement seemed consistent with the idea of a large body under the water, and likely under my canoe, and a long folding neck. After moving about 50 meters, it turned as if to take a look at us, and then it submerged. This whole incident lasted 2 minutes. I did have a camera in the boat with me, but was just too shocked to think of trying to use it. We have often returned to Ellison Park to camp and paddle, but I have never seen anything like that again.
I'm curious why he waited so long to like talk about it, but it's that'd be spooky if you were out there with your kids.
Oh, yeah.
And, gosh, what if the kids would have gotten eaten by Ogopogo? You would have just looked like a huge negligent father that let your children drown.
Well, I assume he'd probably be in jail right now.
Yes.
They aren't going to believe him about Ogopogo.
No. That's a dad that was fed up with his children and drowned them.
So I was thinking, this is Dog Beach. What if they named that after like the corpses of puppies that Ogopogo left?
Dog Bone Beach.
It's just crushed up dog bones.
Perfect.
That's like the sand there. So they have Bacon Beach and Dog Beach, and then the Peachland Beach or
Man,
whatever.
Canada's a weird fucking place, dude.
Yeah.
This, like, where this lake is literally, like, in the middle of, kind of seems like in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of like Erie, you know what I'm saying?
Seems like it's in between two mountain ranges,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's
So,
like, you know, how the Cascades that go through Washington and then those come up from Colorado. Yeah,
It seems like the perfect place for a monster to live.
It would
definitely.
be fucking awesome. I want to go here. In August of 2000, James Ivney recalls what he had witnessed while vacationing in Okanagan Lake Park. A girl and I were sitting on the beach talking all night. Around 5:30 a.m., soon after daybreak, I left the beach to use the public restroom. As I was returning to the beach, I looked out towards Rattlesnake Island and saw what looked like a submarine surfacing. The girl to whom I had been talking also saw it as well and was pointing towards it. It looked like to be about 100 feet or so in length, and it was traveling very fast. About 30 seconds later, it went out of sight, heading south towards Penticton. It looked like it had a wake behind it, which may have made it appear longer. It was clearly not a wave, since the lake was almost like glass that morning, with clear skies, no winds, and mild temperatures. The few waves there were very small and extremely slower than what I saw. It was silent faster than any speedboat I had seen on the lake earlier that week, but with no sound. It was obviously not a speedboat.
Really?
So I think this guy just got cock-blocked by Ogopogo.
Oh.
Or they were coming down from Molly, and then
I'm sure he's not going to put... We were rolling all night. I sobered up at 5:30 a.m. to take a dump.
we were exhausted, and our serotonin was low.
Yep.
That is kind of weird. Why are you talking to a girl all night on a beach till 5:30 in the morning?
Trying to get some.
I guess you got to give up around 2:30. Just go to bed.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
Go take your piss and go to bed. You've obviously been holding that in for a while.
Yeah.
Also in the year 2000, a marathon swimmer named Daryl Ellis reported being accompanied for a short distance during his swim by two large creatures as he passed Rattlesnake Island. I don't know if I'd be swimming by it. It sounds scary.
No.
He described them as one being about 6 to 9 meters or 20 to 30 feet long.
For our U.S. listeners.
Yeah, I wanted to put that in there.
20 to 30 freedom units.
Did you guys see that? When did they change the name of fuel to?
Oh.
I seen that. Did you see that?
Where? Here?
For the oil companies, they're calling it something
Yeah,
freedom.
fossil fuels, it's now like
Freedom fuel or something.
Freedom juice or something.
Oh, my God. Kill me.
And the second one was smaller, but she doesn't give a size for that one.
Okay.
They follow, or he, I should say.
Daryl.
That's a unisex name.
Yeah.
They followed him for quite a while and then disappeared. When he swam near the Okanagan Lake floating bridge in Kelowna, a creature with a large eye the size of a grapefruit came within 9 meters to get a close look at him. Mr. Ellis' sighting was painted by a local artist with a police sketch artist training. And that picture that you see below is it. It's kind of rad, actually.
That's actually, yeah.
I'd love to have that in my house.
That's a drawing, though. It's not a picture of Ogopogo.
No, he painted it for her.
Yeah, well, it's fucking garbage.
You don't like that painting?
I love it. It looks great. That's a nice looking painting, but I want something that's not a painting.
I thought it was cute.
I also think it's cute. Please don't get me wrong, audience. It's a very cute painting. You'll see it.
But Adam wants film evidence.
I just want a picture of this big boy.
There's no, he doesn't have horns, well, you can't really see his beard in this.
Or his goat head, or his horse head.
You see the eye in the top of the dome.
A grapefruit sized eye, though. That's a big ass eye, man.
Big eye.
That's like Steve Belushi size eye.
Yeah.
Or Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi.
Steve Belushi.
Steve Tarjan writes about a sighting he and his wife had on November 11, 2013, just after 12 p.m. above Callamore Park.
My wife and I were picking up the kids from their grandparents' house. I decided that first we would drive into the new development on Thacker Road to see the new houses. It was no more than 10 degrees Celsius out, and we both got out of our car to look at the view. We were looking around when we noticed that there was a great disturbance on the lake and many meters below our vantage point. The whole lake was grey and dead still. A typical depressing Kelowna sock-in. Anyway, there were these puffs of condensation that we saw way down on the water. They were very distinct little clouds, and under them there was a fan-shaped disturbance of great size. As these clouds shifted slowly away from the now multiple fan-shaped water upsets, we saw a big line in the water. It was the color initially of the edge of thick glass, that aquatic greenish. It was at least 3 school buses long and maybe a third wider than a bus. It was moving slowly and directly towards us. As it approached, it turned slowly to our left and began to dive. We know it was diving because it gradually changed colors from the initial green to an ever-darkening tone till it finally vanished. The sighting lasted maybe a minute and left my wife and I very excited. The lasting impression we both got is that it was alive, massive, and not in a hurry.
Just like me.
Whatever caused those clouds of moisture, I would bet that would have been worth seeing. We were so excited that I only lasted about a minute that night.
I was going to say, it sounds like this guy, he might have been having trouble being intimate with his wife.
I think they got home.
They seen Ogopogo. He got hard as a rock. And
I would like to thank Ogopogo for curing my erectile dysfunction.
So Ogopogo cock-blocked one person, and then he
paid it forward.
Yeah, he helped this guy
realized
get
his
laid.
mistake.
Yeah. So he's a good monster.
Agreed.
We're well past fertility, but I knocked my wife up that night.
That Ogopogo baby. That's cute.
Hmm.
I spackled that uterus.
We had a nice dinner at Tim Hortons afterward. I don't know a Canadian restaurant.
A few Timbits and some coffee afterwards. That's how you recover.
Do you think IHOP started in Canada?
Oh, yeah, I
don't
think you mean IHOP, their International House of Burgers.
Oh, did they change it?
Well, they did for a little bit, but then they brought it back to IHOP.
Okay, that's
because they got a lot of backlash about how stupid of an idea that was.
You go there for pancakes.
And they're not even that good.
No, absolutely not.
I'd rather go to Perkins.
Jeff Cottam from Ontario sent us the following details of his sighting while visiting his son in Peachland in April of 2014. I was taking photos of the lake at Peachland with my iPhone, about 200 feet east of the marina there. I was looking out on the lake, then something rose up out of the water and wriggled and shook its head. The aquatic animal I saw was almost 20 to 30 feet from the shore. The head looked like a sea lion or snake, about a foot long. It was black, shiny, and a long body, perhaps at least 10 or 12 feet long or more. That was on the surface, that is, but as it was moving swiftly without any sign of a tail or movement in the body. I'm sorry, some of these witnesses' writing is not great.
I know.
No.
You can't. No, it's not.
I assume there was no body and tail below the water surface. If you look at the photograph, you can see that the waves are diagonally arranged across the photograph, but the long body of the animal may still be ascertained as it runs parallel to the bottom and top of the picture. I tried to zoom in on his head with my fingertip for the next photograph and then went too close with the zoom and lost the image completely, so I lost precious seconds because of this. I got a closer up picture of the head in the second photograph. You can see 2 Canadian geese in the frame. You can also notice that there is more of the main body in the picture, and it appears to have much more width than the head, so it was of considerable width, over a foot or so wide, I would say. It moved quite fast and dove immediately after I got the second photograph. I wish I had just kept clicking away instead of zooming in on its head, as you can not see more than the length of the animal in the second picture. I watched the surface of the water for several minutes, but it did not reappear. It was very real, highly unusual in shape and form, and I have no idea what it is. I had not heard about Ogopogo, I don't even know how that's possible, until I got back to my son's place and told him what I had experienced, and he told me of this mystical monster on Lake Okanagan. This was not mystical. It was very real. So I feel like this picture here kind of looks like an alligator head there.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Okay, so that's supposed to be the head?
It's supposed to be the head there, the size of geese. These geese, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was like a little
looks like
part of its body.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just looks like a piece of driftwood floating next to some geese.
That's what that looks like to me.
But I will say, you can see the wake coming off on, like, the bottom of it.
To the left of it there, I mean.
Yeah, you think he's all, like curled
traveling.
around?
Yeah. But I can't... Like, whatever piece of it is about the length of a Canadian goose, which isn't that big.
Yeah, it's not big at all. And what the fuck is the other one?
I don't know. This is the picture they had on the website.
Okay.
So I don't know what he's talking about with the second picture, but the fact that his son lives near Lake Okanagan and he has no idea of the
He's never heard of Ogopogo before.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. You're full of shit.
Yeah, you're a lawyer.
The series of photos was taken on May 24th, 2015 at approximately 6 p.m. While Bill Stechik was sitting on the balcony of his Kelowna condo facing Lake Okanagan, the subject popped out of the water about 200 meters from the shore. Bill grabbed his camera and took a series of shots. The object stayed in the same spot for almost a full minute, rotating its head as if it was looking around, at the end of which time it, quote, jumped out of the water, displaying its head and a portion of its neck before diving and disappearing beneath the water. Now, this picture... there's like 6 of them of this little head popping out of the water here, whatever the fuck this thing is.
No.
What do you think, Jordan?
This is very blurry.
This looks like a fucking like silver football popping out of the
That's
like
exactly
whatever this.
what I was thinking. I was going to say like someone threw a rock at the lake and then he caught it right as it starts touching the water.
No, this is malark.
This is one of the pictures that OgopogoQuest.com they have on their main page. This head.
They consider that as like conclusive.
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
Listen, I want to believe.
What do you say? 200 meters out? Yeah, 200 meters. I mean, that's pretty far.
That's way far.
So your picture is not going to zoom in that far. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's his head. It looks pretty small. I don't know what the hell it is. You can kind of make out the eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
If you want
Those
to.
could just also be... That could be an imperfection in the rock that someone threw at the water.
Okay, you're not listening. There's like 6 pictures of different angles of this thing, so it can't be someone of just throwing a rock and then you got 6 pictures.
Well, we only have one of them, Cody, and that's the one
I'll make sure to put all the pictures on our Instagram so you can look at them all. Then
are there kissable lips visible?
I mean, he's got. It kind of looks like he's got a frowny lip.
It looks a little. He looks pouty.
While everyone is open to their own interpretation of this supposed lake monster, it certainly seems perhaps something has captured the attention of the denizens of the Lake Okanagan for centuries now. Now, after hearing this, and if you just get the urge, you need to go to BC, you need to try to find this monster for yourself. There's something you definitely need to check out.
Okay.
One of the coolest things ever is the statue of Ogopogo at the bottom of Lake Okanagan.
Oh.
What?
The Vernon Morningstar wrote this about it. An 8-foot-tall, 14-foot-long sea monster resides at the bottom of Lake Okanagan. It's a life-size homage to the legendary Nataka, better known to many as Ogopogo. A statue of the legend resides 30 feet beneath the surface at Paul's Tomb. I was trying to figure out why they called it Paul's Tomb, but okay, we got Dog Beach, Bacon Beach, Paul's Tomb, Peachland, fucking Jesus, guys. To the left of the bay in the Knox Mountain Park. Doug Lundgren, office manager of Diving Dynamics, helped install the statue in the early 1990s with the team and the artist who he says lived in the Pandozzi neighborhood. Quote, "The statue is fantastic. We take scuba divers down there and the visibility is about 10 to 12 feet. They're looking down and all of a sudden they see this green shadow and their eyes become dinner plates."
Fuck.
So that's a picture of the sculpture under there. Isn't that thing fucking badass?
That's scary. That's so scary, though.
I think that's sweet.
Kind of like that lake in Minnesota where someone
they put Jason Voorhees down there.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
This guy is a total troll. He's like training these divers, and he's like, "Hey, come check this out." He's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?"
Oh my!
Get their oxygen runs out immediately.
The perfect dad troll. Well, except he kills them.
got to bring a puppy with you underneath you going to the statue.
I don't like man-made things submerged underwater either.
I think it's so cool.
Really, Adam?
Like,
Not even the Titanic?
Well, that's all right. That claimed the lives of so many.
so, I literally looked through all the local towns around here because I assume there would be some sort of like tourist trip or like something.
Sure.
But it seems like Canada doesn't exploit their lake monsters like America does.
Well, maybe they should.
So, like, who's the captain for Pepe?
Oh,
Like, you could take his tour, right?
yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, like, there's nothing like that. You go to Vernon's website, you go to Kalana's website, city website, they don't even mention him.
Man,
It's like, what are you doing?
Why wouldn't they have, like, snorkel tours, anything
Yeah.
like that?
I don't know.
Like
I don't
paddle
know.
boat tours, anything.
I don't know. They just, I guess, don't want to.
That's
I feel
real
like
dumb.
this is a drawing point to this area of British Columbia.
Well,
Like,
they're so against, like, doing anything with it, though. They shut dude down trying to build the theme park there, so it's like...
well, that wasn't Ogopogo related, but yeah, it'd be fun. The island almost looks like a giant, just like
Mound.
big mound. So I don't know how the hell he got a golf course on there, or a mini golf course. But yeah, fellas, that is our second lake monster, Ogopogo.
I love
Oh,
it.
that was fantastic.
So a lot of
I
people.
feel like this one's going to take over as the supreme lake monster episode.
Are we going to betray our national hero, Pepe, who's literally like an hour away from here?
And swear our allegiance to Ogopogo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I'm not going to.
He's more violent than Pepe was. Pepe, I don't think, killed anybody or ate puppies.
No.
Maybe he did. But
I like a monster you need to pay tribute to.
Yeah,
I'm a
absolutely.
big fan of that.
After researching this, I'm like, man, Native American folklore is so fucking badass.
Metal.
Oh, fuck
It is
yeah.
so cool, man. And I don't know. I don't know if he's real or not, but he's cool. And it's hard to like. I was trying to kind of make out his shape, but I think he's just like a snake, and maybe he has little fins and a split tail, but like a really like never-ending. What's that? What's never-ending story?
Yeah.
The creature's head.
The luck dragon.
Yeah, that's what I keep envisioning of him.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't the luck dragon named Atreyu?
No, the boy's named Atreyu.
Oh, the boy is?
Yeah.
Okay.
did he grow up to start the band?
No.
No, but apparently he's like covered in tattoos and like punk rocked out.
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah!
It's pretty rad.
But yeah, a lot of people say witnesses are just seeing sturgeon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
I mean,
I should throw that out there. That's what people think they're seeing because sturgeon obviously can get super old and super big and disgusting.
Yeah.
So
even when muskies break the water or get close to the surface, they look like fucking monsters.
Yeah.
they got humongous. They got a shitload of teeth and shit.
Yeah.
Do sturgeon have teeth? They don't
Yes.
have teeth. Do they?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dude, sturgeon are terrifying looking.
I've seen that
They look
90.
like dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, they are dinosaurs.
I've seen that 90-year-old one that was in Chicago at the
Yeah.
whatever the aquarium was. Kind of cool.
Very cool. Very cool story.
Good.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you.
If you know of any other lake monsters, feel free to send them in to bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com.
What's that, Adam?
bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com. As always, follow us on Twitter at bumblebuttpod and on Instagram and Facebook at bumblebuttpodcast. Jordan and I also have personal Instagram accounts.
But,
Jordan's is at j.j.fox.
ye.
Mine is at bumbleadam. And now it's time for the most important part of the show. At least if you ask Cody, the iTunes reviews.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to sacrifice some people to Ogopogo because we didn't get any.
We got no freshies?
No fresh ones. Let us down. That's fine. I know somebody's going to hook us up this week. I can feel it.
I know someone
I can
is.
feel it.
I know
feel
someone
it in
is.
my soul.
I know someone is.
Perfect.
I know someone is. Don't let us down again.
No, don't do it. We'll throw your ass in Lake Okanagan.
You're going to swim. You're going to swim with the Okopogos.
And Jenna's going to take her horses across the lake and sacrifice you so her horses can get safely across there.
She'll get the whole team across because your dumb ass will be fucking dead.
I hope she messages me and explains to me how horses swim across the lake. I really want to know.
I swear you had to have. They can do it a little bit, just not for long.
I mean, the lake's kind of long, though. I guess it's 3 miles, kind of. I mean,
That's way too long.
Yeah.
That's way too long.
Maybe that's why they use the island to kind of get out there a little bit, so it's a shorter
It's like the
travel.
halfway point.
Yeah.
you know, cut
I
it
don't
up.
know. I don't know. I hope Jenna lets me know.
Yeah, let us know, please. Horsecast.
Yes.
Horsecast 2018. That's going to do it for all of us here. I would like to say thank you. And I would also like to say thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Adam.
I would like to say thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Adam.
And I would like to thank the audience as well. And I would like all of you to have a nice weekend, unless it's Tuesday.
I have to go to a luau.